Hello aspirants, I am Rahul Prakash Singh, faculty with Jigyasa IAS. So here we are starting a module on map learning. Okay, map learning. So our aim here to start this module is to help you learn how to read maps. Okay, how to read maps and how to use these maps to learn other things relevant to UPSC. So aim here is to allow you to or enable you to or empower you to use maps as a tool to enhance your preparation in the UPSC CSE exam. Okay, map should not be an end in itself. Okay, we want that you use map as a means to your ends, like to how to remember things using maps, how to use maps to analyze things, correlate things. So in this module, we will be dealing with all these issues. Okay. So what is the importance of studying maps? Okay, so we wouldn't have started this course if there was no relevance of maps, and you all would also be knowing that map hold lots of relevance in UPSC preparation. So what is the importance of studying maps? So it helps you retain things better as human brain thinks pictorially. Okay, what do I mean by pictorially? As you would have noticed, whenever you study something, and whenever you are sitting in exam hall and trying to recall very hard, but you are not able to recall, then you suddenly there is a flash in your mind that suggests you that you read about it and it was written somewhere on the top left corner of the page, some page in Lakshmikant. So that is what I mean by pictorially. So in a similar manner, whenever you study maps, okay, so your brain will also remember things pictorially. You will remember ki what place is where, Delhi was here or Shimla was here. Okay. So in this regard, if there comes a question कि longitude के किस तरफ कौन सी cities है, arranged in north to south, where is this national park? So you would be straight away remembering the map. You will not be remembering कि मैंने कहीं पढ़ा था कि भाई शिमला is lies to the north of this latitude or south of this latitude. Okay, so you will straight away remember it through the map, and it straight away there will be comparative analysis. You can tell, okay, Delhi के इधर था, Delhi के इधर था. So you can come up with a right answer. So it helps you retain things better because you remember them pictorially. Okay, then it has better correlation with current events and static facts. Okay, so what I mean by better correlation with current events and static facts, so whenever you are reading, say, a news, there is a news on Syria. So if you just read the news on Syria and you do not see that on an atlas, you do not open an atlas and do not see that on a map, then Syria is just a word for you. It's just a country. But if you open map, you will come to know many things about Syria. Which country lies to the north of it? Which country lies to the south of it? East, west, everything. Is there any water body surrounding it? So you will learn everything about Syria. So that is why you can correlate with current events. Similarly, if there is talk of there is a movement from Syria to Turkey, okay, so you can correlate कि भाई Turkey is lying to which side. So you can also correlate how the migration is happening from Syria to Turkey and through Turkey through Europe. Okay, so that's how it helps you remember things. And when I say static facts, so static facts में तो maps always has relevance. Okay, whether be it in relation to geography, obvious relevance, then you can use it in history. Okay, history, it has a very large relevance. Those students like to cram history, but if you read it through maps and locate places on map, and based on that you write here only wherever you are studying about what event happened there, so it will help you remember things faster. Okay, so that was about static fact. Then it is that key, it will provide you holistic understanding and enables lateral thinking. What do I mean by this? Say if you have a question on a national park, say if there is a question on Kaziranga National Park, that Kaziranga National Park experiences climate ranging from alpine to wet monsoon. Okay, so this statement will be impossible for you to solve if you haven't studied about it. But if you have not studied, but if you would have seen it on the map of India, okay, if you have seen it on the map of India, ki where does it lie? So this is our Assam somewhere here. So if you know Kaziranga is lying somewhere here. Okay. So you would know that it is not lying in a very hilly tract. Okay. It is lying in the Brahmaputra plains. So you can straight away mark out this statement ki bhai, if it is saying about alpine, it will be wrong. So that's how you will be able to study through maps. If you are studying through maps, आपने काजीरंगा देखा, then you will straight away also think what is the physiography around this, what is the like forest around it, how is the climate around it. So you won't have to need to read it again specifically. You could straight away make it out from the map. So that's why it helps you in holistic understanding and enables lateral thinking. And UPSC, as you all know, is looking for this in all your exams, be it prelims or mains, and develops analytical skills. Okay. So similarly, I showed you about Kaziranga. Now we can see it in respect of analytical thinking. We can see it in respect of other examples also. Say for example, you have to talk about, this is Africa. Okay. This is, now there is a question about why are there deserts found in this part of Africa. So it says that there are warm currents in surrounding areas. That's why there is desert. Okay, you have not studied anything about it, but the question comes. It says a statement that there are warm currents around it, or it is the region of subtropical high pressure zone. So if you have studied map, you would have definitely seen that here you have the cold current, or the in the form of Canaries current. So that is not the dominant factor. Here also you have another cold current, Benguela. Okay. So you would know कि that warm current wala statement is wrong. But if you have studied in the map that this area passes through 20 to 30 degree north, and this area passes to 20 to 30 degree south. Okay. Then you could easily make out the first statement should be correct. So it will help you analyze things. Analyze based on what knowledge you already have and the knowledge you have gained out of studying maps. Okay. So this is how it helps you. And last but not the least, direct questions are coming in UPSC CSE every year. Okay. In prelims directly, and in mains indirectly through the use of maps. You can enhance your marks. For if you draw maps in mains ka answer 1 to 2 or even 3 marks, you can gain a lead any day. Okay. Similarly, if we talk about utility of maps or what all you can learn through maps, though I have talked about in the previous slide, but quickly let us go through it again. So you will most commonly know about important places, rivers, cities, towns. Okay. And that too you can use it in respect of conferences, military exercises, weather events, etc. कि कौन सी city में हो रहा है. Okay. Then you have physiographic features like mountain ranges, plateaus, etc. Rivers. Okay. Then when you talk about climatic and geomorphic features, in the climatic and geomorphic features, like as we talked about the Kaziranga example, if you are analyzing a map, you can straight away refer ki an area, what type of climate does it have? Will it have a monsoon climate? Will it have a tropical deciduous forest or desert climate, tundra climate? So that all you can learn through the map. Okay. So like if you are looking at a world map on a single page, so here is your equator. So you can easily study ki here you will have Arctic type of climate, then you will have tundra, then you will have temperate, then tropical, then you will have equatorial climate here. So you can study that through maps. And then most importantly, which is the most neglected part of the map, you can study the socio-economic characteristics of the region. And you can make a very educated guess using this, because if you know the climate of a place, the physiography of a place, you have studied all that, then you know what is the geomorphology of the place, then you can make a very educated guess what could be the socio-economic characteristic of the place, what kind of settlements would be there, what kind of economic activity would be taking place over there. Okay, so this makes map hugely relevant for UPSC. Okay, so moving ahead, how to study maps for UPSC? This is a critical question. We follow a strategy of AQ. Okay, AQ. First is Atlas, then you talk about approach, then we talk about arrange. So what I mean by Atlas, Atlas, as you all know, there is a student Atlas which you need to follow. We recommend the Oxford Student Atlas. Okay, so in this, how to use Atlas? First is, as a starting point, is referencing. Referencing means that it has to begin from the moment you are starting your preparation for UPSC. The first thing you do is read newspaper, right? So when you are reading newspaper, you should have an atlas by your side, and you should be referencing every news that is coming. And if it has a name of a place, okay, river, mountain, anything, you have to open atlas and start referencing it. So you will gradually become habitual to seeing maps. Okay, and then those pictures, as I told you, we remember things pictorially, so those pictures will stick in your mind. But if you just study the name of a place and then try to remember it later, you won't be able to. But if you have seen it on the map in an atlas, you will definitely. And second part of atlas is highlighting. So whenever you are studying, referencing anything from newspaper or from your standard books, you highlight that place or that river in the map itself. Okay, highlight it, and then if you have to write something about it in small key, what is the importance of the place or what event took place over there, just write it there itself. So whenever you are revising, you don't have to open your textbook again and again. You just open your atlas while studying, while taking a break, or while you are eating lunch. You could just easily flip through your atlas and revise all those things. So that is what we mean by highlighting. Second is approach. What should be the approach when you are studying the maps? First is the staggered approach. Staggered approach is like we talked about here, referencing. Okay, in this you just when you are reading newspaper or you are studying anything, you just randomly open any page which is being talked about in the newspaper or the book, and you just see the place. Okay, so this is a very useful exercise, as this helps you to familiarize yourself with the map, how to look at things, how to analyze things, everything. Okay, so that is very useful. Second is theme based approach. This is an advanced level of preparation where you dedicate your time that I have to master map, and dedicate time to master map and resolve that I have to utilize map as a tool to make me a successful candidate for UPSC. So in this, what you do, you pick out themes. Like if you start studying maps, you pick out themes that I will cover continent wise. So you do continent wise. Like you read a standard textbook, you read Lakshmikant, so you read it part wise. Like I'll read fundamental rights, I'll read DPSP, parliament, state government, and all that. Similarly, you pick out themes. You pick it continent wise, or you could pick it physical feature wise. I will study the mountains of the world today, I'll study the river systems of the world today. So that is theme based. So we will discuss in the module as we move ahead how we can do this. Third part is visualization. This approach, visualization approach, is not just one instance. It has to become a part of your preparation, and it has to become a part of you. Okay, so when you are starting to study map, you have to make a habit to visualize whatever you have studied, okay, in a map. Okay, so like see, we took an example of Syria. So say you are sitting somewhere in your library and you are just sitting idle, and you just close your eyes and you visualize ki where was Syria. Okay, where was Syria? Was it somewhere here? Was it here? Here? Just try to visualize, and then you can narrow down. It was here. Then try to visualize what was near it. What all water bodies? What are the neighboring countries? Just try to visualize. This will strengthen your memory and sharpen your skills to visualize and analyze. Okay. And third part we talk about is arrange. Arrangement is very critical, because if you do not arrange what you are studying in a proper manner, it will become very haphazard and you will not be able to come up or use it in a manner you want. So first is notes. So as you make notes for everything, there has to be a note of maps also. So but the good thing about this part is that you can make these notes in your atlas itself. Okay, in your atlas itself, or you can buy in the market there are blank maps, and you can mark them theme wise and use it for revision later. Okay, the important places, though you cannot mark everything that will be available in Atlas, but broad whatever the broad things are, broad places, mountain system, climatic regions, vegetation, all that you can mark on that map. ठीक है? And next part is practice. By practice I mean to say both. See, practice of maps, seeing, referencing, highlighting, visualizing, everything. Okay, but apart from that I also want you to practice map drawing. Okay, you should know how to draw world map, India map, because that will come a lot handy both in your prelims and mains. Definitely in mains, because you can draw map in your marks and in your answer, and that will definitely fetch you good marks. Okay, and in prelims it will help you, because if you know map and if you are not sure about places, you can just quickly draw the map on the pages and you can mark places, and you can like easily come up with a right answer. So you should know how to draw map. So you should practice both India map and world map. So in this module we will also learn how to draw India map and how to draw world maps. Okay, and third is revision. So revision is a must. If you don't revise things, don't revise whatever we are telling you, the approaches, the places, everything, it will gradually like drift off your memory. But good thing about maps is because it is pictorial, so you don't have to put in much effort. One or two revision, it will be solid in your brain. Okay, so let us see some UPSC prelims question which were asked and which can be used which can be solved through maps. Okay, consider the following rivers: Barak, Lohit and Subansiri. Which of the following flows through Arunachal Pradesh? See, there are two approaches to solve this. One approach is that you have ruttified every river of India and where it is flowing. That is a very traditional approach. But the smart approach is that you have studied maps and you know which river flows where. So you can pictorially also see which river is flowing here. So you know Lohit is somewhere here, Subansiri is here, and Barak is somewhere here. So if you do not know even the exact states, you can make out if they are talking about Arunachal Pradesh. So when Barak is here, you can straight away mark these two. Okay. So answer becomes 2 and 3. Okay. In a similar manner, next question is Turkey. Turkey is located between Black Sea, Caspian Sea, and all that. Okay, so if you have studied with us and you know how to draw maps, and you if you even do not know how to draw maps but you know the world map, okay, so you would know Turkey is somewhere here. This is Turkey, so this is Mediterranean Sea, and somewhere here is Black Sea. So you can easily mark that Turkey is located between Black Sea and Mediterranean Sea. So in this manner you can do this question. And third question, one question which I would like to talk about, and rather we have talked about it when we started this discussion. What could be the main reason for the formation of African Eurasian Desert? It is located in the subtropical high pressure zone. It is under influence of warm currents. As we have seen, there are no warm currents over there. This you could have easily analyzed through the maps. And this subtropical high pressure belts, that we have also seen if this is not the case, but this can be the case because all the deserts are lying here. Okay, so if you do not know this fact, then you can easily come to this answer using your maps. Okay, so similarly is a UPSC mains question. Why are the world's fold mountains located along the margins of continents? Bring out the association between global distribution of fold mountains and earthquakes and volcanoes. See, this question was asked in 2014. So if you study Atlas, you have a very extensive map of plate boundaries. Based on that, you could have easily analyzed and written this question. Okay, so but if you haven't seen that map, you would have studied about plate boundary definitely in your geography part. So but still, if you would have drawn map in this question, definitely 2-3 marks extra you would definitely get. So in this module we will see how to use maps in mains question as well, and how to use that to show things, how to use maps to like support your answer. So okay, and how to gain this extra edge of 2-3 marks. And in how to use maps in prelims, definitely that will be a critical part of this. Okay, so this is our module which will be starting, and I hope you guys learn from it and utilize this module to enhance your preparation and you succeed in UPSC. Okay, all the best guys.